Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Spencer Ward. Let's get down to business, shall we? All right, everyone. As always, we're sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are great. Great to deal with, great guys to deal with. Can get your billboards up timely, but they focus and help you with your traditional and digital billboard needs. Located in throughout the Pocatello and Blackfoot areas. You sign up for a 3-month deal with them, at least a 3-month deal. Sign up for longer. They will give your installation for free or your first month for free. So give them a call. Give Rob a call at 208-232-6886. Again, that's 208-232-6886. Give Rob a call and he can help you out. All right, everyone. Man, I was just thinking, many of us, I've talked to a lot of business owners around the state. And it seems like, there's a few of us that have had kind of a weird quarter, Q1. But many of us are getting business. Getting business isn't the issue. The issue is, how do we keep employees from leaving? And I feel like the good economy that we've had up until the coronavirus, maybe, and really even up until the coronavirus, because this really affected how we do things within our country, within our state. It's kind of put us, more just on our heels of how we are dealing with our staff. I know we've talked about this in the past, core values, and hiring with core values and all that kind of stuff, and that's all true and that's all valid. But I think sometimes we take it for granted that we've always had employees to pull. Hey, we need someone. Let's go hire someone, and they typically stay for a decent amount of time with any of your companies. And now it's not happening that way. In Idaho, especially in Idaho, I know at least at the end of last year, 2021, we were at the top of the union for people quitting their jobs within Idaho. That was big throughout the United States. Idaho was one of the top states. So I don't understand how that's happening, and I don't understand how people are doing without jobs. And I'm sure many of them are transitioning to new jobs, and I know people are out there working, but they have many more options now than they did before. So how do we not take our employees for granted anymore? And how do we keep them from leaving? Because we can get the business, we can grow our businesses for many of us. And if you're having troubles growing your business, there's many episodes within this podcast that you can listen to help you, spur that on. Or there's ideas that you could even call in, and we can definitely have an episode about that. But the biggest thing is we just can't keep the employees as long as we need to continue to keep up with our growth, to accomplish our year-end goals, accomplish even our Q2 goals. So let's go through this again, everyone. What drives employees to leave? And I found a blog, and I'll post the link to it, because obviously I'm not into plagiarizing. But I found 10 of these points very interesting, and let's just talk about them. So obviously, number one, treating everyone equally. It may it's bad. It might sound as bad as it might sound. Not everyone is equal. Some produce more, some and some less. So remembering that not all of your players are A players, and even though you have people that are higher producers than others, socially and everything else, we got to remember respect everyone. Remember who we're trying to maintain staff. We're trying to keep morale high. Obviously, we don't want to stop the producers from producing, and we want to continue to incentivize those that are not overproducing, but outproducing others to continue to produce. So, just that's a big one. Treat everyone equally. So, there you go. Number 2, tolerating mediocrity. And we've talked about this in the past, and I kind of bring it into having someone who's not a core values match. And I've had people within our company who have been with us for months, and they've stayed with us, and finally we're just like, these guys just don't fit the mold, and it seems like they're rubbing people the wrong way. So we're starting to find different certain trends of certain things are suffering under their hand compared to others. And when we finally do get rid of them, we have other people come to us and say, why did you keep them so long? So some of your A players, some of your core value match players are seeing that you're keeping these non-core value mediocrity people, mediocre people around. And that definitely brings morale down, because they're thinking, okay, well, wait, our company puts up with that, and I'm over here producing over like this, but these guys are still employed, and they can do that. It doesn't make sense. That promotes people to leave, because it just doesn't make sense the way you're doing things. So it kind of leads back to treating everyone equally. It's true, but you got to remember, you do have your producers, you do have your people that are core value matches, and some people that aren't core value matches. And if you need to kick someone to the curb, you need to do that to keep morale up and to keep others happy. So, because one thing I've noticed is when you do get rid of them, not only do they come and say, hey, what took you so long, but you notice the morale of your company just jumping through the roof. Everyone's happier now. Everyone's excited to work again. And it's just interesting how one bad apple can affect the entire bunch. So number 3 is just having dumb rules. We want to make things run smoothly, but it doesn't mean that these rules can be dumb. So in your mind, as a leader, as a boss, sometimes we come up with these kooky rules, and we're thinking, oh, this will make sense. This will solve it. It's just like our government, guys. When our government's floundering and desperate for funds or whatever they need, they come up with ticky-tacky rules. They come up with ticky-tacky laws to continue to tax and to gain more money from us. Don't be that. Don't be the government to your employees. Don't be dumb. Don't have those dumb rules. Okay. Number 4, not recognizing outstanding performance and contributions. That's huge. So we've talked about this before. Sometimes we're so quick to jump down and say, hey, you did something wrong. Why are you doing it that way? But we're not as quick to say, Toby, Maria, Susan, you guys freaking rocked it out of the freaking house. That presentation was killer. You did an awesome job over here. This client was amazed by that service. This client that bought this product from us said she had never had the best customer service than anything like that. Just recognize that kind of thing and give those attaboys out, and not just to be fake, but really genuinely, want to, get, be that person for your employees, so they can, rally against each other, not against each other, but just around each other to support each other. And that's what we want as a team. Not having any fun at work, number 5, it's a huge one. Sometimes, it's daunting. in any job. Sometimes there's a lot to get done, and sometimes things got to just get done. But it doesn't mean that you still can't have fun. You still can't crack some jokes. Obviously, some corporate structures are different than others, and you got to stay within the HR guidelines. Can't make them too crude, but just have fun. But again, make it to kind of your core values. If you're kind of in a more of a dull office and they're not used to maybe doing things out of the box, maybe try doing some small things first. But other than that, man, just enjoy. Make it a fun environment. Make it a fun culture. Even as fun as hey, you got your people in a desk clump. Have a 5-minute dance break or something. Just be fun. Be yourself. People don't want to see Mr. Uptight professional, at work all the time. Like, be yourself. People will recognize that and they will perform better because of that. And I'm not saying this because I haven't tried it. I am generally a goofball. And when I go out and see my team, I'm not this uptight, stuffy person. Like, I'm cracking jokes. And some of these people I haven't even met before, but they're, by the time we're done, we're laughing, we're having fun, and that's what it's all about. It's just enjoying what you're doing. Obviously some jobs are more fun than others, but you can still have fun with whatever you're doing. Not keeping your people informed. That's a big one. A while back, we had a scheduling software that for some reason, was messing things up, was changing automatically. Software's dumb sometimes. And people were getting irritated because things were just getting changed. And we literally had to do away with that software temporarily and go to emailing all of our schedules out to our employees because we didn't want them to have all that confusion going through their heads. Because if they're feeling like, hey, my schedule doesn't mean anything to these people, they don't care if I have any kind of work life. I mean, any kind of life outside of work. They don't even care about my life. Why would I want to give up some of my hours of my day to work for them when they don't care about me? So just remember, these people are coming to work for you. Obviously, you're not just paying them just to show up. You're paying them for your performance, but keep them informed to what's going on. Don't just surprise them with different internal communication, because that ends up really frustrating people. Number 7, micromanaging people. I like this stat. It said, did you know that 38% of employees would rather do an unpleasant activity like opt for more work or sit next to someone who eats noisily than sit next to their micromanaging boss? Okay, I've had micromanaging bosses in the past. Horrible. You can't even concentrate. You can't even type straight because you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's right there, she's right there. It's stressful. Stop micromanaging. Empower your employees to make the decisions. When my management team calls me, obviously I'm not perfect. Our company is far from perfect, but we're trying to constantly empower our employees to make the right decisions. They call me and ask me, something, if this decision they've made, or if before they've even made a decision, that they ask, how should I do this? And that's one of my pet peeves is, okay, number one, don't come to me with a problem, come with me with a solution to that problem. So then I fire back at them. Okay, well, how would you do it? I'm not mad. Fire back. How would you do it? They typically say the exact answer that I would say, or maybe slightly different. And I'd say, yeah, do it. As long as it doesn't, go against our core values, let them try it. Because sometimes it might work better than what you have, So, and if it doesn't, and it still does the job, bring them back in, talk to them, and maybe have that conversation. But don't micromanage. No one wants that. No one likes to have it. Not developing any employee retention strategies. Number 8. So once I feel like sometimes we've talked about, hey, once we're hiring someone, from the interview process all the way to their first day starting, we need to keep that same energy, that same tempo going. But what happens after 2 weeks or a month goes by? Are we still finding, having things and processes set up that we're reaching out and touching those individuals, saying, "Hey, you good? Hey, how you doing? Hey, let's talk." Having that open door policy, having different things to reach out and to do little nice shock and ahs for even your employees. It goes a long ways, because then we're constantly knowing, hey, these guys are thinking about me. They care about me. They want the best for me. I'm just not another number. And I know the bigger your company gets, sometimes they feel like they're another number. We're over 40 employees at this point, and sometimes I feel like that. And that's where you really have to concentrate on saying, okay, how do I make it so they feel like just not another number? Because they're not in my mind. They're amazing people. They're here to give some of their time in exchange for a paycheck. Number 9, not conducting employee retention interviews. We talked about this before. We do 90-day reviews. I think that's important. Touching them 3 to 4 times a year, sitting down with them, having those 20, 30-minute interviews, giving them opportunities to know where they stand, maybe giving them opportunities to make more money, and they get to prove that they deserve more money. It's not just, hey, here's more money for doing nothing. They have to be doing more, of course, and proving that they're worth that. So that's a big one. And then number 10, making the onboarding process an exercise, that's easy to follow, and that the first impressions are huge. So when we've talked about that a lot, just having the energy level. If you're writing a job ad and you're posting it and it's full of high energy, you can go throughout Indeed, and I'll tell you right now, Indeed, you cannot use Indeed, and they'll try to tell you, well, this is how you need to write your job ad for the best performance. No, they don't know how to write job ads. All you need to know from them is how to navigate their search engine correctly, because that's all it is. So what I would take from them is, okay, what is that? What job title is working better? So maybe you change up the job title for your job. Something similar. What maybe that's getting more search results than the job title you had before that was obviously similar to the job title you're switching to. And then you write an ad that is, conducive to your core values. And you go through Indeed all day long and you find these boring ads. They're all the same. None of them stand out. And some of you can get away with it. Some of you that, especially the ones that offer hiring, paying jobs, benefits and that kind of stuff. But the small businesses out there that don't have all that, good stuff to offer, you have to make yourself stand out more. And this is how you do it. You write your job ads with your core values in mind. Make them part of you. Show some humor. And if you're a funny person and that's what your core values are about, show some humor and enjoy it. And I promise you'll see better results. And so from the job ad to your interview process down to hiring, it should be the same energy level all the way through. And then as they're hired on, even during the first 2 months on the job, these people are the most impressionable during those times. So you've really got to hone in, your processes to really, I hate to say coddle, because these people are adults. They're good, they're great people, but still there's a lot of opportunities out there for them, for other jobs. So you really do kind of have to focus more on the employees and their experience right now than we ever have, excuse me. And I think that's going to get an ongoing trend that's going to be happening, is that We just can't sit back on our laurels anymore, thinking, hey, these guys are just lucky to have a job. No, we have to always remember if we're not training our staff, we're not cultivating our staff. Number one, what are they doing in front of our customers? And number two, how long are they going to stay? So I'm hoping these things are helpful to you. They've been helpful to me because I've constantly, obviously in our industry, janitorial industry, we're high turnover in general, anyways. So now we really have to find ways to stand above the crowd and make our employees really feel like they're a family. Here, I think in the next 2 weeks, we've got a party planned. We're going to have fun. We're either going to go bowling, go do something, and have our employees and their families come together. We're just going to have a fun time, And we're not going to talk about work. We're just going to enjoy. So I'm hoping those things will help. As always, we're sponsored by my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. If we can help you with any of your janitorial needs, great. If we can be a fit, great. If we're not a fit, we'll let you know. But if you go and sign up for a janitorial solution huddle, call at newclean.com, NUCLEANE. No matter what, we'll send out our truck mount system, get 2 of your restrooms in your office, your tile and grout cleaning for free, no strings attached, just because you listen to us on the podcast and you let us know that. As always, guys, go out there and rock it, dominate your day, find ways to cultivate this new culture into your work environment, and let your core values shine to your employees. Adios, and see you next time, guys.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.